Like, okay, so then what do we do with the ball? And we're like,
Oh my God.
there is no ball, and then they're announcing our team.
We are all here today to do our own version of Hot Ones. Hi, I'm Rocket Mean, Executive Director and Founder of the Rose City Rollers. With me is Layla Smackdown, Mercy, and Rhea DeRange. So today we are going to talk all things Derby, because we're all alumni, and we're all alumni of Wheels of Justice. And we're also celebrating Rose City Rollers' 20th anniversary and Secret Aardvark's 20th anniversary. They've been with us forever. So yeah, we're gonna try hot sauces, and I'm kind of terrified because I didn't know about these last two. And also shout out to Buffalo Gap for the wings and Two Town Cider, because I heard that sugary, wonderful things help with cooling down the mouth. We're gonna go ahead and try the first one, the serrano, serrabanero. Did I get that right? Okay, Let's give her a try.
Okay.
It's actually called Serrabanero. It's not a question of how many beverages we might have had of these beforehand.
It's delicious. That's good. Let's talk favorite Derby memories. Who wants to go first?
I think it was maybe my last season, and captaining. One thing that I wanted to do was just have more cohesion for the team. Because I think that's the year we played a lot of games together. Not just on the track games, but just like silly trivia games. I think we rented a house at the coast just to get cohesive and kind of did 2-a-days. And then in the evenings play a lot of games. And I know we did a scavenger hunt here in town, running around the mall and the restaurants there while we did a little scavenger hunt just to just connect as a team. And I thought that was really fun. It was my favorite.
So for home season, so Breakneck Betties, the memories of just like the first bouts at the expo, just the big show, the setup,
Dude, the doors. When we walked out and saw all the people at the first bout, it was crazy.
The last regiment, syncopated drummers, just getting really pumped up and just, peeking behind the curtain and seeing all the people there. And are they going to like it?
And your stomach's like flip-flopping the whole time. You're like,
that whole day, leading up every time to the bout, that Saturday, what that whole day was like. And then travel team, just memories from the beginning kind of traveling, getting to go travel. And in the very beginning, we didn't stay at hotels. We stayed with other host skaters. And so that piece of getting to know the other skaters in the leagues and them taking us around. And so it was, everything about the local scene and the skating, against them, and then partying together afterwards.
That's so cool that
just
you got
all
to
the
do
fun
that.
things.
okay, we're saucing.
We're saucing.
Okay. We keep forgetting we're
Committed
all right.
saucing.
Next, we're doing Chipotle. So commence number 2.
Okay.
This is really good.
Delish.
I really like this one.
This is supposed to be hotter than the first.
It's not like the smoky Chipotle, but
It's really good.
people should not be too intimidated to try this. It's really good.
Okay. Let's say, do any of you guys have a favorite moment, like skate out songs?
Our Woj intro, when we made that.
Well, my generation spent the first, Wheels spent the first few years losing every game. And I think the first game we won was at home against Sin City. And I still have that poster
we
in my
won
office.
that game?
I'm pretty sure we
Oh my
did.
God.
Yeah, because
I got my ass handed to me.
Dish.
Oh, yeah. I was like, holy shit, do I have some training to do? It was.
Okay, so
Did we really win? So
I'm pretty sure, 'cause
I can
the
only
after party was
remember
at my house.
how brutal that was for me.
Well, you won the after party. We know that.
Clearly.
We used to win the
Wait,
after
all the
party.
time, all the time.
All the time.
Champions of the after party.
I remember when we had that game up here at the Coliseum and we got like 3rd place. I mean,
Oh
and
God.
Oh my
Before,
gosh.
before.
The picture.
the picture. Like we did the
picture.
picture 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and we were way
Okay,
Cut to
good.
photo. Cut to photo.
So-
we must cut to the photo.
Okay, so 2011, so that was the first time we were hosting regionals at the Coliseum. It was the first time that we ever qualified for champs.
Always a
And so
bridesmaid.
we beat Rat City, and that was always exciting because, they used to beat us a lot in the very beginning. And yes, so the team won 3rd place, and so we had to sit through another game, and the team drank so much. WFTDA came up to me, and they're like, you need to go wrangle your team. And I was like, oh my gosh, trying to get like Scratcher to sit upright.
Yes.
We were
So funny.
celebrating.
Oh my
The
God.
photo is spectacular.
Yeah.
Again, thank you to the photographers
Yeah,
that
seriously.
captured clearly the jubilation of the moment.
Oh my gosh.
I think that's also like that team was, I think, one of the most cohesive teams. Maybe we didn't win a lot of games. We won a lot of after parties for sure, but that was also the team that we did so much outside together. We watched footage together. We did extra practices together. We were just like working hard, and that's a sisterhood that everybody joins roller derby for, but you don't see as much anymore, or at least in my experience in later years. But I thought it was just a beautiful time. So celebrating together that hard is because we skated hard together. We practiced hard together to get to that moment. And we were more cohesive than any other team I skated on in my 10 years.
So you also had one of the most heartbreaking times on the track.
Yeah, and that was,
I was off to the side, and like I have strong feels about it. But tell us.
Are
about
you
it.
talking about champions
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, 2014.
Oh, it was
Indies.
terrible. It's like one of those last games that haunt you for the rest of your life. That I remember years later, I was still thinking about it. Like, should have done this differently. I should have been on the track. Should have put this person in. Should have put that
It
taken that
wasn't
person out.
your fault,
I
for
well,
what it's worth.
you're the captain. It is your responsibility.
When it comes down to it, it's just a couple points. It's just so
Yeah, when it
painfully
comes down to
stinking.
2
Yeah.
points, I'm sure everyone on the team was thinking about one or
What
two
they
things.
could've done
I was thinking
differently.
about a
Yeah.
thousand things. But to be there in that last jam and we're in this ginormous stadium and the whole crowd's going, and all we needed to do was get a skater to slow down so the jammer could pass the pack. But they couldn't hear us no matter how hard we yelled. The entire building was in an uproar. Our entire bench was yelling different things, and we just could not get them.
All of us
All they
watching at
needed to
home.
do was one thing, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, but I mean, it's not that person, any person's fault. Like we got there as a team.
Okay. On that note, we're going on to the traditional Secret Aardvark.
Great.
Okay.
Do I jump in singing Fiddler on the Roof now or no?
Okay, which one is this?
Original.
Original.
It's really good.
So, original, when they started 20 years ago, this was the one flavor.
I believe
Stick to what works.
lobster and mullet dressed as unicorns, pegacorns,
Oh, yeah.
and it was the season of glitter bombs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well,
We were at an after party in Denver, and they had thrown out so much glitter, and Denver was like, well, we're not allowed in that bar anymore because you guys, thank you. We're like, but we had such a good time.
They did that in Philly too. And I think it was like Teflon was like sweeping.
it was
the
Shanita.
floor.
It was Shanita Stretcher.
Shanita?
Yes, yes.
Shanita was sleeping, and then they just dropped a glitter bomb on somebody. And Shanita's standing there with the broom, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so
face.
sorry." Oh my God,
I was
I
just
thought-
talking about that.
I thought they were gonna beat us with that broom.
We have a no glitter rule here because one year, Dragon thought it would be funny to do glitter at the end of home season championship. We found glitter for so long. It was like stuck to everything.
I love it.
Okay, so we are moving on to the scorpion sauce. Here we go. Okay, and another question. It's really good. All right.
That's tasty. These are all sneaky though. It's like first bite.
This one is sneaking up.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I want to hear Tell me your favorite ritual on any team that you've been on, like derby team.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Breakneck Betties. We'd have like Betty spaghetti, like as a team the night before, kind of fuel up those carbs.
So we would meet at Llewellyn Park and play schoolyard games.
Oh, cute.
Really?
Basic, we would play
Cool.
Duck, Duck, Goose. We would run bases while yelling. Minstrel Psycho held the record for longest sustained yell. We would stand in a circle and play telephone. We would stand in a circle and do the human knot. We would pass an orange under our neck. And the ideas being that apart from just like loosening up and having fun with our friends, we were then in really close proximity to each other. It was all of these different like kind of subtexts of training for the game that was to come, but it really just came from having a good time together, so that by the time we did get to the hangar for call time, it was more like we were just kids being held back from recess, and we're like, okay, soon. We get to play together again soon. And it was a complete turnaround in how we performed.
That's amazing.
On the track.
That's awesome.
It really was.
Okay, we're all gonna try the Reaper. And okay, so we put our dab on. So
Yeah.
here's the Reaper.
Yeah, I'm already schwitzing.
I'm gonna top do this.
Oh my God. Can I
No.
get a soda water?
Oh, the wine is so good.
Thank you so much.
But I want to hear, if you were going to tell somebody who's considering derby, who was like, I might want to play derby, what would you tell them?
I would say for somebody to do it, because when I started roller derby, I think it was like the coolest thing about how competitive roller derby was, even when I started, was just that there's very few sports that you can play as an adult that if you didn't know how to play it, somebody would take the time. So you're seeing people who were just resigned to be in a mom. Like that was the only defining title that they had, like a mom, a wife, be able to come out here, be a persona, learn a sport that didn't exist to them at all, and become like a known name within the sport and just be somebody else and like do something for them. So I feel like it was very empowering for women to start it, and to start it at any stage of life. You know, you didn't have to do it as a kid. You didn't even have to be an athlete as a kid. The way derby is set up, it will teach them and help them grow. And I think that a lot of people need those outlets to be something else at different stages of their life, just being pigeonholed to that one thing, and to do something that can bring them joy and sisterhood and friendship and competition, and just to the mass amount of people we get to meet in any given season. Like, it's a really great opportunity.
I also love it seeing, like, one of my favorite things early on about Rose City Rollers was seeing people come into the sport, like you said, never played a sport in their life, never saw themselves as an athlete, and watch that kind of spark grow in them, and that they saw themselves as an athlete all of a sudden, and, you know, they grew in confidence. Like, you know, they got out of bad situations, they had more confidence.
Absolutely.
They went down different paths in life.
The bad situation was a reoccurring theme when I started. They just felt so empowered and actually had a support network where they could leave a bad situation. It was really beautiful.
To find that camaraderie and like coming in with some intentions, but being open to the experience, because I mean, I had no idea. I was like open to it. I was like looking for community and wanted to exercise and find something fun to do. And I had no idea like how into it I would become. And to piggyback on what you're saying about just like finding yourself, like it was at a time in my life that I was really ready to come into my like adult self. And I didn't see myself as a leader, and other people saw me as a leader first. And being put in that role really reluctantly, agreeing to be a third captain. I was like, I don't know. People are like, well, there'll be 3 of us. I'm like, okay. And then as soon as I became Wheels Justice captain that year, the other 2 people stepped down. I was like, what am I doing? But it forced me to build the skills that it takes. And I mean, that has
to
like helped
mom,
me in
dad,
my life.
mental health care provider,
and like
disciplinarian.
So finding yourself, unpaid, finding yourself, but finding your people and a place of like true. I mean, yes, there was some drama, but you can kind of steer clear of that, and like finding that true acceptance of whatever you bring, and helping develop that in other people is very cool, which you've done, for 20 years now. So
Do you
hats off to you. It's amazing.
Do you think it's the same possibilities as far as kind of like true openness and blank slate exists at every level 20 years later? Because I mean, again, it's still not to like date us, but the evolution of the sport itself has been like, exponential from year to year. So I want to make sure that people still know that there is space for that empowerment, for that growth.
Oh my gosh.
And that their support does exist for them without just the concerns about like, I
Being
have
at the
to be the
top.
best, I have to do this.
But something that wasn't here when most of you were here was we started age 7, right? And we are fortunate.
They're so badass. It's not just cute. They throw themselves in with
both-
such
both
reckless
and.
abandon. Yes, exactly.
But seeing kids come in and seeing how it teaches them to kind of get out and be wacky and just have fun playing sports and getting that to be a part of their life, like, I love that for the little ones. And then seeing them become teenagers where they realize we can be, we can just go at each other on the track, but we don't have to be nemesis off the track, especially like a lot of, women and gender expansive kids feel that like pull to like be like at odds with one another. You're competing for whatever. And then, with the adults, I think that we're really lucky that at every stage, 7 to 12-year-olds, teenagers, and adults, we have enough programming that people can start out from nothing and get to a top level, And like, I feel like, I remember in the very beginning, like, fresh meat would show up and we'd just throw them into scrimmage with us. And I'm really happy that's not the way it is anymore.
So I have a story. So how I came to Rose City, I would like to tell this actually. So it took all the wings.
I was there, but.
So I saw me and some people at Chopsticks, and they were wearing their first, I don't think it was that. I think it was the girls, the original.
Oh, the dancing girl shirt.
I don't know. But I was like, I think I saw these like women skating around like at the VFW. So I went up to you and you gave me a handbill for practices. And
a flyer, everyone. It was a flyer.
It's flyer. And so I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm really going to do it. But I don't have skates. So I called you and you answered the deal. I was like, I'm going to come, but I don't have skates. You're like, what size are you? 8.5. You're like, I got some for you. I'm like, okay. So I showed up.
I like you being me. I got some for you.
It was really good.
I got you. Come find me. I'm like, okay. Not intimidating at all. Like, it was fine. So, but you threw me in some skates, and I went to this bin of dirty, stinky pads, and I just put it all up for like scrimmaging the first day.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
That's
just
how
did
it
that.
was.
That's
How it
crazy.
was. Never turned back. So thank you.
That's amazing. I think my first time I was skating with Dallas, and there wasn't really a new skaters program. You did tryouts, and I'd been skating all the skating rinks because I hadn't really skated as an adult, just to practice. Made it through tryouts, and they had 4 home teams, so we would practice on our own, like on an outdoor outdoor roller hockey rink.
Yeah.
Somebody's drawing the track with chalk and stuff like that. And I'm getting ready for my first bout. I was looking cute. I had like this big fro hawk, and I was doing my makeup, like doing my eyelashes. I was like, wait, I don't know how we score points. And they're about to announce us. So we're in line and they're announcing the teams. And my captain it was Anita right at the time, was really just trying to explain as fast as she can how you score the points and da-da-da-da. And they explained the whole game of Derby to me. And I was like, okay, so then what do we do with the ball? And we're like,
my God.
there is no ball. And then they're announcing our team. We're skating out of the skating rink.
That's a nightmare.
No, that is such an amazing, that is such a good story that kind of rounds out the early years of roller derby.
Yeah.
Oh my
Good.
God.
I want to thank you guys all for coming out today and eating Secret Aardvark with me. And also just for being a part of all the different generations of Rose City Rollers. And, to all the folks watching, thanks to all of you who have been a part of it, because it's been 20 years and it's just been, it's been pretty amazing. I'm getting off the clump because it's been an amazing ride. And, I look forward to the next 20. I don't know that I'll be there for the whole next 20, but, and also come out for champs. All of you, you'll be on the guest list for champs.
All right.
Thank you.
I mean, you ate the sauce. I'll let you in.
Pleasure.
So, yeah, Thanks for being a part
Thank
of this.
you.
Thanks for having me. Happy
Rocket me.
20.
Woohoo. We wouldn't be here without you.
To needing more beverages.
Was the Hot Ones a show?
Yes.
What is it?
Yeah, it's like a really famous, like it started on like YouTube
Mm-hmm.
and like all these celebrities go on it and they eat like 10 sauces and people just like, they're like dying. Like their things are so.
And they're more inclined to like answer honestly when they're too busy like sweating and not able to
Are we recording? Are we
keep
ready
their
to go?
story straight.
Oh, okay. Should we just get her going?